My name is Rap. This is my new video about Warframe. Well, today I'm going to play with Volt. Since I already played the mission, even after I changed the subject of the videos, now it's about the frame, not the mission. But I'm going to for the ones who didn't saw. I play the survival with my Volt primes, that's why I'm not going to use Volt. The difference is Volt uses a Exilus slot in his builds, doesn't matter which build, it uses the Exilus slot. And primed mods, my normal Volt don't use Exilus slots and don't use primed mods. I still have a config here with the primed flow to give a little more energy, but I mostly play with this one. This build is about damage, doesn't have efficiency, so is speed, and ultimate is instant ability, and his speed doesn't work because, well, I have fleeting expertise minus duration and even transcendent fortitude, so I only have 12 duration. But this is all about damage and stunt, so I use in this one I use less strength. I still have the blind rage, but I use fortitude and don't use transcendent fortitude. I'm going to play with this one since it's a tower 4, and fortitude on tower 4 is almost useless because they do so much damage that you don't feel the use of the mod. My primary weapon will be the Boltor, the normal version. It's a very good start weapon for the players starting the game that could build this weapon. It's inferior to the Prime version and to the Telos Boltor, but it's a weapon that can take you a bit far if you want only to invest in a weapon that you like. Of course, this one already have 5 formas. It's formed to be able to use all the maxed mods. I usually use magnetic as default damage in this weapon, since I have 3 bolters. I have the prime that is corrosive, Telos that is magnetic, and this is also magnetic, but the Telos is magnetic and viral. The Boltor Prime is corrosive, and this one is only magnetic. I think I have a corrosive here, so I'm going to change. But I have to use piercing hit here because I don't have enough points, since Malignant Force isn't using the correct polarized slot. My secondary will be the Acrid. It's a weapon that was very OP in closed beta and the start of the open beta, but then when the DA changed it to damage 2, the weapon didn't benefit with that change, and nowadays you see very few, almost none, using it. But it's a good weapon if you like to invest in weapons. It's a good weapon to invest a few formas. Mine have 6 formas, but you can only use 5. This was also a weapon that was in the previous damage, and as you can see, all my weapons formed in the previous damage have these 2 polarized slot tactical, so any weapon that only have 1 was already formed after damage 2, so that's why it have 6 formas. But a 5 forma build, you use all maxed mods without problem. As you can see, I still have 8 points left. This forma wasn't needed for this build right now, because if I didn't had this format, I would have 3 points here, and I still was using this mod. Okay, I'm going to take my Sunika because I'm going to play a capture. I only use Sunikas in capture missions. They are helpful. They cap the target. The only problem is they don't keep the target in the ground much time. You have to be quick to cap the target, or he will let go the target. In this I only have 4 formers, and I'm not going to form anymore. My build, when all these mods are maxed, will be something like this. I'm not going to use this mod. I'm using it now because I'm still leveling link health, armor and bite. So, but in the end I will going to remove this mod and going to leave this this way. I'm not going to waste more formats. This Kubrow also come with only a polarized slot from default, and it's to make at least a good build for your Kubrow to survive deep missions in Tower 4 missions. You need to use at least three formers. At least 3 formers. To be able to use Maul and Bite, I always advise to use Bite to give more damage to the Kubrow, and then for use at least shield and health and fast deflection. Link armor you can put aside, but these mods are think are the more important. These two we could remove it, but at least 3 formers, it's the best way to go. Okay, it's all. Let's do the mission. Okay, Tower 4 capture. I only have 2 keys, but it's enough. I always play these missions mostly with Loki or Limbo and get over with. I usually don't fight in these missions. I only want to finish the mission. It's a bit different now because it's a video, but I usually do these missions with Loki or Limbo if I'm not in a mood to fight and only want the prime part. Well, I'm going to do one thing that is important. I always do this in these missions, is to refill my energy. I will going to need it.
We cannot let our target know we're here. Track them down quickly.
As I was saying, this is a very good option for the start, for the person starting Warframe. It's very easy to build, and if you have some friends to do some void, Forma isn't difficult to get, and you using a Forma or 2 Formas in this weapon, you can already make a decent build. Okay. I was having a hard time to take this guy down. Well, here it's not the best place to be capping a target.
Your part is done here, Tenno.
Wow, unbelievable. Okay, my Kubrow stopped the heavy. But there is a healer here. Okay, it's down. I can't believe it. Well, I thought I was going down because I was reviving my Kubrow. This is one of the tanks that, like I said in the previous video, that I like the Kubrows. They do less damage than the Sentinels, it's true, but there is a tank that you can revive them. They sometimes do dumb tanks like this one now. It went it to the bubble of the nullifier and went it down, but at least I can revive him. And when we make a mistake with the Sentinel, if you are not using the regeneration card, you will lose your Sentinel, and unless you die, you cannot use the Sentinel again in the mission. As you can see, it still does interesting damage. I love to play with this, with the Acrid. It's not the same tank as the older Acrid, but it's still very good to take for high level missions. And believe me, it works a little bit if you are a player that like to play survival defense. Believe me that if you fully modded an Acrid, it still works very deep in missions. Okay, it's all for this video. I was wanting that my Kubrow was the one to cap the target, but since this was the invisible guy, he like us, he can't cap the target if the target is invisible, and it was a bit confusing. But well, it's the only place where I like to use Sunikas. When I have a lot of keys and I'm farming, I always take the Sunika. Sometimes he is more quick than me and cap and take the target down, and then I only need to do damage to be able to cap it. Okay, it's all for this video. Thanks for watching. Until the next video, see you around.